Hi there, welcome to the final episode of the evidence exercise. Over the last several weeks we have explored why physical activity is beneficial to our health. In this last video we're going to talk about exercises you can do indoors or in the office environment, and we'll also talk about stuff you can do outside, outdoors, which there's a whole host of activities you can do, and we'll give you some examples of these. So the first thing we're going to look at is the office environment and how you can stay active in the office even when you're working. If you're working in an office and you're sitting at a desk all day, then you obviously spend most of your day taking part in what we call sedentary behaviours, so basically doing no physical activity and sitting down. So many studies have shown that there's an association between sitting for long periods of time and various damaging health outcomes, including mortality in some cases. Some studies have shown that people who sit for longer periods of time are more likely to die younger than people who are more active throughout the day. Another thing that people complain about if they sit at a desk all day is back pain, in particular lower back pain and sort of upper back pain. And this here is a drawing of a spine from the side. And this one here, this is the shape of the spine roughly in normal circumstances. So when you're standing up, you should have, this is the bottom of the spine here, and it kind of goes in an S shape like this. So the neck is up here, the head would be here, and this is the spine, and it takes a kind of an S shape like this. And the reason for that is it's the optimal position for what these are the discs, which are basically your spine. They make up your spine. So in between your vertebrae, which are the white bits here, you have discs, and these are filled with fluid, and they help to keep the spine in place and to absorb shock. So when you're sitting at a desk all day, especially if you have poor posture, your spine can end up looking like this, which isn't the S shape that you see over here. And what that does is, over time, a lot of pressure gets exerted on the back of the discs here, especially at the lower back and up in the neck here, from sitting at a desk and leaning over doing work. And over time this can degenerate the discs because of the forces that are put on the discs from the pressure that's created by this unusual position that the spine's not used to being in. So that's why a lot of people complain, especially if they sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, about lower back pain and neck pain. So in these videos here, you can see me standing at my desk. I'm lucky enough to have a standing desk. I know most people don't have that, but it's becoming more common, especially in offices that are health conscious, and they're taking it on, and they can be quite expensive to put in place, but when you have them, they're a real benefit. So another option is, if you get tired of standing, is what you can see me on here, which is a medicine ball, or a Swiss ball as it's known. And what this does is it allows you to sit down, but at the same time you're forced to keep your core strong, and it keeps your spine in a bit more of this posture here instead of slouched like this, because you're keeping your core tight, your abdominal muscles tight, because if you didn't you'd fall off the ball obviously. So this can be quite good for lower back pain, and also for making sure you engage your core, and it can be quite good for people who suffer from lower back pain or neck pain, as we've said. Another example of stuff you can do in the office if you can't get to a gym is, if you've got some small weights or weights that are easy for you to use for your body type, you can do some like exercises at your desk, like you can see me doing here. And in this video I'm just doing some easy exercises for my arms. And again, this is an example of resistance training, which we've talked about in previous videos, which benefits muscular strength and also bone strength, bone mineral density. So it can prevent conditions such as osteoporosis, and it's generally good for your health, and is recommended by the NHS guidelines, as we've talked about previously. In a small study that looked at comparing people who use standing desks to people who didn't use standing desks, they found that the people who used the standing desks reported a 54% decrease in upper back and neck pain compared to the people who didn't. And then when they stopped the intervention, when they stopped using the standing desks, they went back and asked them again after 2 weeks, and it had gone back to normal. So there's some small evidence there that standing desks work, especially for back pain and neck pain. There's not much research that's been done using the Swiss balls, but again there is people out there, especially physiotherapists, who recommend these balls for people who have lower back pain, who are at a desk all day. So it's definitely something that should be researched. Indoors is obviously a great place you can do physical activity, and especially green spaces like this. We're here in Hollywood Park. There's loads of areas you can do physical activity of different kinds, for example cycling, just walking around. You can go up Arthur's Seat, you can play sports, you can do Tai Chi. There's endless things you can do in the outdoors that can keep you physically active. Okay, and obviously in Scotland it's not always as good a day as this weather-wise, so when you're inside, when you're indoors, there's other things you can do to keep you physically active. You can go to the gym, that's one option. You can do bodyweight exercises in your house or in the office. On the NHS website there's guidelines and there's examples of things you can do just in your own house. For example, squats, star jumps, push-ups, sit-ups, just bodyweight exercises, and these things are adequate for meeting your physical activity guidelines as set out by the NHS. But when you get the chance, make sure you get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Okay, so hope you found this video series, the evidence exercise, useful. Make sure you check out the resources on the SHIRP website, and also like us on Twitter, Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Finally, if you check out the NHS guidelines on the NHS website, we'll put a link up below, and that'll give you more details of the things we've been talking about in these videos. And hopefully we'll maybe make a new series of videos in the near future, and look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much. Bye.
We did it! First take and everything. Bye everybody!